What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we das. We get it in. But before we get it in, let's get to this intro for reals though. Welcome back. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled. You guys ready to do reaction? Let's do a reaction to the Cholas of the 90s. See, things have changed. Things have changed drastically when it comes to gangs in California and every state, man. Um, the DNA is watered down, right? I've been hearing that a lot, and I could agree, man, that things have definitely changed. You know, the era that I was raised in, the 90s. Okay, what was that called? A 90s baby. Late 80s, early 90s, right? The shit was just different. You know, it was actually, you didn't seem to have a choice to be a gang member. It was all around you. It was the cool thing to do. And people played that game to the fullest. They played the game to the very end. And it always ended in death or incarceration or having a whole bunch of baby mamas or a whole bunch of baby mamas having a whole bunch of babies from different men, right? We talk about gangs and we think about vatos out there, low riding, cruising, north, south, norteños, southsiders. And nowadays, it's different. Nowadays, it's internet. Nowadays, it's social media. Nowadays, it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, gangbanging. Last night, I pulled up to TikTok, man, just to see what the hell the flavor was, the fever for the flavor. And I see this northerner and the southerner literally on screen going at it, calling each other the N-word and a bunch of bitches and all this. And I literally wanted to jump in and choke both of them and say, hey, stop already. Not only is it frivolous what you guys are doing, you're not pulling up, but most of all, more than anything, you're making the raza look bad, right? Now, gangbanging wasn't just about the black, brown. In the 90s, man, you had the Crips and the Bloods going at it tremendously. And then you had, Southsiders and Southsiders in Southern California going at it. And then you had Northerners and Southerners going at it in Northern California. That was red on red. Everybody was getting their fucking hands dirty like the rest of us, right? And I was participating. I was functioning. That's what we considered functioning by participating. Some functioned a little bit more than others, and those who didn't function and now in this social media era are starting to function a little bit. You know, just painting your nails and getting a fucking Punch's Pilot haircut ain't functioning. You know, disrespecting the opposition on the internet when you can't pull up or you won't pull up is not functioning. You're just maintaining. You're just living a lie. Your truth should be put in the work or get put in the dirt. Straight up. If you're going to be a gang member, if you're going to be participating in them type of shenanigans, then in the 90s, you did it. Now, we talk about men doing it all the time. How we lost a lot of our youth and a lot of our era to incarceration and drugs and gangs. But the girls were doing it just as viciously, if not even more so than the guys, especially in the Los Angeles area. Now, this right here is a video I found focused on the girls from Hawthorne, Southsiders, Sureñas that were gangbanging. Now, let me tell you guys a quick story before we get to the reaction part. And I've told this story before. This was crazy. I remember I had a homegirl, pick, pack, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. That's what I used to call her, Big Titty Patty, right? Fine-ass homegirl. Everybody wanted her. For some reason, she had this love in her heart for me, right? And, the heart went to the throat and the throat went to the whoop, whoop. And it was all good. But what we did it on the unders. We didn't really tell the homies because they would have been jealous. Hey, do it on your own time, L, right? It would have been all bad. But we were real close. But at that time, man, I'm not going to lie. I was doing cocaine. I was involved in gangbanging to the fullest. I was riding around with homies, not giving a fuck, trying to establish my name in the hood, trying to establish my my presence, right? I wasn't trying to maintain. I was trying to function. And there's a park, and it's made popular by the rapper GB. Shout out GB, man. He just dropped a banging ass video. You know, I just watched it. It's a music video. You guys got to tap in. That dude is really doing his thing. But anyways, he made a park called McNamara Park, very, very notorious and known in Merced. And it's right on the corner of 12th Street. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty known park, man. It used to be the crack era park back in the days. I remember when the McNamara lynch mob and the Bloods and the Crips and the Northerners had it sold up, Bisons doing their thing, playing their soccer. It was just a hood park, right? And me and the homeboy, one of the homeboys, man, and he's changed his life since now. He's still active, but, you know, doing the family thing, doing it the right way. And we're cruising by. I got him on the handlebars. I'm cruising on a bike. You know what I'm saying? Straight fucking hood shit. No t-shirt on, summertime blues. Everybody's getting it. And I see this group, this gaggle of chicks and dudes in the park. It's not usually normal like that, right? So as I pull up, I could tell there's some intense fighting about to go on. And there's a chick. She's a bigger chick, heavyweight champion chick. She got blue rags in her hair and blue rags wrapped around her fist. And she's like, this lo se, right? She's ready to put it down. And there was 3 or 4 little northern chicks, little young chicks, man, 18, 19 years old. Like, what's up, Bella? Let's get it then, right? And I used to be one of the homeboys that was strictly against women gangbanging. Like, I didn't like it. We only had 2 homegirls in the hood, from the hood, man. They were the homeboy's sister and another homegirl. They were about the business. I didn't even look at them like females. They were like homeboys. One of them I looked like as a female, man. She done damn near sucked the blood out of my neck, right? But I just didn't I didn't see how women could gangbang and we could take it serious. Little did I know, right? But as these northern chicks are rushing, man, me and the homeboy are just sitting there watching. I spark up a frau, I'm watching. And this Southsider chick is with the business. She's fucking picking these girls up by her hair and throwing them, right? And I started to get frustrated. I started to get upset and mad, right? And I'm looking at the little homie. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I already know what he's thinking. He's like, man, fuck this shit. Norte, right? And I'm like, I said, hey, man, enough is enough. So I break it up like, hey, you didn't got your. She's like, fuck you. I said, this lost, this suit. I said, that's where we're going to have a problem, right? And the problem is, you're a female, man. Come on, stop. But let's not go there. Let's not disrespect. She's like, fuck you guys disrespected me, whatever. Anyways, I don't know how, but somehow she got a bike thrown on her head and she got fucked up, right? I don't know who did it, how they did it, or why they did it, but it happened. I know why, but I don't know how, right? We ended up jumping on a bike and getting ghost, and everyone left because this chick was done dealio. And later on, we're having a house party where we used to have it at my homeboy's house, and the homegirl Patty comes in crying, and she's like, hey, my prima's in fucking, she's in fucking critical condition. I said, no way, right? Come to find out, she was just in fucking got beat up condition. But she's all pissed. Hey, if you find out who did this, it was a couple homeboys, one skinny homeboy and another little fat homeboy. They did this shit. I said, I'll be on it, right? Now, at that point, I knew who did it, but I ain't never tell it. The fact is this, man, women gangbanging was never a thing that I condoned or I liked, but they were doing it. Let's look at the cholas of the 90s. This video is real gangster cholas of the 90s, not these chicks nowadays that, hey, man, my old man is this, my old man is. I used to hate those girls that did that. They try to thrive or live off their old man's reputation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, he wasn't your old man the other day when you were giving me a big-ass mamon. Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, yeah, maybe he was. But you still gave me the mamon. Anyways, let's get to this. Let's react to this together. I've never seen this one.
It is Saturday night in L.A., and this 16-year-old who calls herself Shy Girl is getting ready to go out. Her look is critical. It is designed to make a statement. Shy Girl is a force to be reckoned with.
It's a shy girl, right? 16 years old, already corrupted, already in the game. That's about the age, 13 to the 16-year-old age is when they start to be influenced. They start to recognize what's going on around them. They start to understand the value of money, the value of gangs, the value of having things, right? And that's where you either go out there and get you a job at McDonald's and do the right thing, or you go out there and you be a product of your environment out in the streets. Now in LA in the 90s, it was bad. Thousands of murders a year. Gangbanging was pretty much generational. It's what everybody was doing. So for her to be in the mix, depending upon the area she's from, some looked at it as survival. Some looked at it as the cool thing to do. To strip out on esa shy girl with their fucking fucked up eyeliner.
Shy Girl and her friends Bandit, Beaver, and Wicked are going out to kick it to get...
Cool part is I actually boned a chick named Bandit, Beaver, and Wicked. I ain't gonna lie, man. Beaver, she had that beaver.
Down to defend their hood, their neighborhood. They will use whatever it takes.
Damn. Box cutters, knives, guns,
Screwdrivers, bottles,
Uzis, everything.
She said Uzi. Like she said, box cutters, knives, baseball bats, chains, fucking palm trees, whatever they can get a hold of, they were using. These chicks are riding around in a fucked up ass Impala with a blown out fucking tail light. You know they're about to go put in some work.
the violence level is such that as a child I was raised to respect women. Women were delicate creatures and so forth and so on. And you come out here and all of a sudden you're seeing guys with their throats cut because they were selling rock at this woman's territory.
Damn, them chicks ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? That's the 90s for you. Those women, they established their area and they started clicas. Like I know a lot of that mostly happened with the Southsiders. At places like San Juan, Modesto, even Fresno, you had little cliques of chicks that were all banged out, running around, holding it down for their own, representing their barrio. But I know in LA, they literally had whole cliques of just chicks or whole gangs of just chicks just doing their thing. Chicks were dangerous back then. Not to say they're not nowadays. They'll still cut your peep off. But back then, they were putting it down for their barrio.
The gangs call themselves Scissors, Dirty Punks, Kleenex, B-38s, and Down and Dirty.
I get down and dirty. I get dirty punks. Kleenex? You know what I'm saying? Sasuke, that's something we use after we get a mean-ass mamon. So I don't know if that's what they meant by that. But no disrespect, young ladies. There's you definitely don't want to be, I'm from Barrio Kleenex, eh? We'll clean your shit up. Well, Sasuke, ponle, do your thing. Are you over 18? Yeah, well, shit, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Shit. All I know is that any barrio that they're called the Kleenex, shit, what's happening?
In defiance and in defense, they have broken away from male gangs, creating a language, a style, and a culture outsiders cannot penetrate. They roam the streets, staking out territory, dealing drugs, and asserting.
That's back when the chicks, not the 213 Cholas that are playing gangster. These were the real 213 Cholas right here. You could tell by their hair. I remember when the homies used to have the hair all fanned out. Hey, Aquanet was sold out at every Rite Aid, right? They were Aquanetted out the game. Those were the Aquanetas. Hey, what do they call you? The Kleenex. What do they call you? The lipsticks. And what are you guys? The Aquanetas. Well, yeah, I've always liked big hair because big hair don't care. Let's go.
Their strength and independence.
Girls get in a gang because they want to be tough, to get their power from.
Damn, look at, is that esa fucking Blondie? Or is that esa Huera? I guarantee that chick's name is Casper or Huera. Her shit was blonder than Ric Flair. She's out there looking like the Hulkster. What you gonna do, brother, when the Kleenex wipe you clean, brother?
Tough is everything around here.
If you're not tough, you just don't make it, Soft people don't make it in this world. It can either be the victimizer or the victim. And I choose to be the victimizer.
Damn, she said, I choose to be the victimizer. And that was the philosophy back then in the 90s. It was a dog-eat-dog world. Shout out to the Fresno Bulldogs. It was crazy, right? You had to literally hold it down or you get ran over. See, nowadays, everyone's inside their house. Everyone's on social media. Everyone's gang-banging from a phone or they're gang-banging from a PC computer. PC tactics, right? It's what I call it. Back then, you were out there in the streets. You met people head up, face-to-face. Not to say it was a better era. It was actually a worse era. But at the same time, this is what gangbanging was. This legacy that's been carrying on, it's like make-believe or pretend gangsters now. They're still trying to keep the imagery, still trying to keep the certain elements of the game. But when it comes to the violence and the really head-up fades and the box cutters and the chains and all, they're not doing that. Nowadays, someone's gangbanging, they'll woof over the internet and then they'll say, pull up and drop the Addy and they'll pull up and hit you with a fucking machine gun that only the Asians had in the 90s. And that's that. Not to say it's not dangerous, but this right here was like really hood shit, repping your hood.
I guess they're losing the value of life, their own and other people's. A lot of times out here, women are treated like property. I mean, they're just something to be used, abused, and thrown out. And I think they're getting tired of it.
Where do you want them lined up, Sarge?
In 10 years, the FBI says arrests of women for violent crimes have increased by 41%.
41%. That's a big statistic, a big jump, right? Back in our days, the way my barrio did it, women were utilized. They were utilized in and out of prison. They were utilized on the streets to generate and facilitate communication and bring things in or whatever. And then on the calles, they were used so we can crash at their pad, stash guns, just chill out, But I was raised by a strong woman. I was raised around my tias that didn't put up with shit, that called me fuckface every day so that I understood that they would fuck my face up if I acted dumb. I feared women. I feared strong, independent women because they put the motherfucking chancla to you, right? A lot of these girls right here, what started to happen was their fathers were not in the picture. Their mothers got strung out on drugs, and that continued, right? But we used to utilize these chicks. We didn't want them to be a part of the game, but we wanted them very closely associated, to only sleep with us, to only fuck with us, to only provide for us. They were providers. You know, I had homegirls I can call, give me a ride here, give me a ride there. To them, they felt like they were a part of something. They felt like, oh, they were doing a bottle for the homeboy, looking out, doing them a favor. But to us, it was like, yeah, that's right, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Give me my mom on the way there to my old lady's house. You know, plenty of times it was very disrespectful to women. I realize it now. But that's just how the game was played. It seems like in Southern California and LA, these chicks got fed up with that. They didn't want to be played anymore or utilized. They did their own thing. They picked up their own cuetes. It's a trip.
Almost twice as much as violent crimes by men. Cops on the street say that women are often more violent, more brutal than men. And they say much of their crime is now related to gang activity.
How come you're in prison?
In prison because I killed 2 guys.
How did you kill?
Damn, she said I killed 2 guys, not 1, 2. You got motherfuckers that won't even jump off the porch right now. They get the funny ass haircuts, paint their toenails and shit, and won't jump off the porch. Rather sit on TikTok and fucking talk shit with each other, right? This chick right here said I got 2 of them. She caught 2 bodies.
Ran them over.
You ran them over.
I was gang affiliated. I wasn't carrying a weapon, so I just ran them over. It's the best thing to do.
Why are girls?
Damn, she said it was the best thing to do. Really changed her life. Damn, what have you done in your life? I don't know. I ran 2 dudes over. It was pretty cool. Oh, that's right. I mean, it's a trip. Look at this India. When I say India, I use that term loosely, but says que
Girls getting involved in killings now?
Because they can get away with it. They're less likely to be suspected of a murder or drive-by shooting or a kill.
Now, she ain't lying. That right there is real game. Knowledge you can't get in college. Authorities back in the days didn't focus on the women. They started to get hip to the chase, right, later on. But in the meantime, in between time, in the beginning, they weren't, you know, the chicks could hold the gun. The chicks could get pulled over, show a little teta, and it was all good. They were, you know, the cops let them go. Eventually, they started to realize and recognize that these chicks were actually the ones that was their gun. They weren't even holding it for no one. They were holding it for themselves. But yeah, she's absolutely right. The authorities weren't keying in on them.
And they can hide the weapons easier and they get away with it.
Why do people get killed when you do a drive-by shooting?
There's nothing I can say about that, because a lot of people I know have gotten killed too, like that, you know.
Do you ever think about?
You could already tell this girl was hardcore. I bet you she's one of the 213 Cholas. Is that Osita right there? I bet you she's gangstered out the game. I bet her nails are about this long. She got cornrows, whole bunch of tattoos on her face, and she's nodding out. I bet you. This chick right here says, hey, I don't know, they killed us, so we just tit for tat, You kill me, I'm going to kill you, and then you kill me again, and I'll kill you 2 more times. Yeah, when do you guys die, though? Well, when does that happen? Hey, we don't die. I say we multiply.
Getting killed?
Yeah.
What would that mean to you?
Well, I don't know. If I got killed, what could I do about it? If I'm dead, right? I'll be resting in peace.
That chick right there's a gangster. She said, well, what I do, I'll be resting in peace. Maybe pieces. Fucking around with the wrong one. It was mentalities like that, homegirls like that I ran into, right? That just didn't give a fuck. Those were the homegirls like, damn, man, you're fine and shit, right? Everyone got all pumped up like, you see the homegirl, bro, she already got like 3 bodies and she could fucking give you a reach around like no other. So let's get fucked, bro. I'm trying to function with that one. Not just maintain, but function.
Most of the girls we talked to grew up with little love or support and early on saw their own lives as meaningless. What is perhaps even more disturbing is that many of these girls are now mothers, raising a generation nurtured on violence and...
That's one thing about the 90s, man. Chicks were having kids at an alarming rate, very young, man. Unfortunately, guys were getting locked up, gangbanging. You know, because most of these chicks that were in the hood they had a vato from the hood. And, you know, he was doing his thing. If they're doing their thing, he's definitely should be doing his thing. If he's not doing his thing and they're doing their thing, then, you know what I'm saying? They need to come to a real thing. That was just the way we felt.
Hate.
You're not going to tell me whether
Poor babies.
Baby.
In a cramped apartment in the middle of one of LA's most brutal neighborhoods, 18-month-old Johnny sits on his mother's lap. He's chewing a bandana that represents the colors of his mother's
Soul Gang, right? That's fucking Tommy Guns right there. His mom got the Chola trucker hat on. Like, she's ready. She's ready to go dance at fucking Santa Fe swap meet. Look, real facts. Unfortunately, I used to hate this situation. Homegirls that dressed their kids like gang members never gave them an opportunity or a chance. That's all they fucking had around them. You know, I had good homegirls, though, that'd be in the mix, but they'd have their kids in clean clothes, in a better environment. You know, I never brought my children to the hood. I never introduced them to that. They seen the tattoos, and I had to have talks with them and give them an understanding of my past life. But I would never bring my kids around the gang because, man, it was dangerous.
gang. A baby born to a crack addict lies ill on a bed nearby.
My cousin Ricky, right there.
And out on the street, a little girl stands in the cold as drugs are sold around her.
What do you want for Cynthia?
A better life.
What do you mean a better life?
I want a better life, eh? Better, don't smoke crank like me, eh? No, don't do that, eh? Have a better life. Hey, everybody wants their kids to not be like them. When are you gonna not be like that? That's always been my saying. Like, if you want them to see something different, you got to show them something different, you know?
Life.
Not being in a gang.
What if Cindy sees all this and thinks it's exciting?
Well, I mean, we'll try. I mean, all we could do is try to keep her out.
She's a straight up fucking white chick fucking doing the raza thing, huh? That's a straight up Featherwood. Up to no good. So again, we'll try, eh? We'll try. You're not trying hard enough. Pendeja, try harder. Get up and tell the homegirls, rata, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? My kid's hungry. She needs cereal. Instead of kicking back with the homegirl smoking weed right there with the kids all passed down the middle. No wonder that poor baby doesn't know how to roll over yet. He's 4 years old. He's too high.
But if it happens, it happens.
It is estimated that there are now 7,000 female gang members in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And thousands more around the country. If these women continue to break with tradition, the children they raise face a future of violence. And so do the rest of us. Karen Byrne.
It's unfortunate. You know, it's crazy. I would love to do a follow-up. I would love to see how these women are now and what their mind frame is. If they died, if they got out the gang, well, if they died, like the homegirl says, then they'll be resting in peace, eh? Right? But I would love to see how they turned out, man. I got a lot of homegirls that had children, stopped gangbanging, stopped being in the mix, stopped hanging around with gang members, right? Then I got a lot that just got all smoked out. So anyways, that's just a video I wanted to bring to you guys today, man. A little something different. We're going to start doing these reactions more. I like these old 90s clips, man. Gives us a glimpse to the past for these youngsters or people that don't know about the California gang violence or how it was that era in the 90s. I'm going to bring it on back to you. With that being said, if you like these, hit a 1. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Thank you.